102.1 KFMA.
You say it, I'll play it.
You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live at Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Wednesday, July 5th. Good morning, Weirdo.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tucson. Happy Asthma Day to you. You ever have asthma? Like growing up? You seem like the type who would have asthma.
No, I did not.
That's the one ailment you never had growing up?
Nope.
Okay, well, That's good. You know, actually, July 5th, fun fact, everyone in Arizona has asthma a little bit, or at least believes they do. Wakes up in the middle of the night, like, I can't breathe that well. What's going on? Oh, yeah. I forgot. We're living in the middle of a chimney. And, you know, I've done
sulfur.
Yes, I've done this like late nights on the 4th of July many years, and driving at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning in Arizona on the 5th of July is one of the most eerie kind of moods you're ever going to see, because it's so hazy. It's so thick, like all the smoke. It's almost like a zombie apocalypse. It feels like that kind of vibe every single time. And of course, your like breath is a little shorter, and it's like, what's going on? And you're like, oh yeah, all those awesome fireworks sales. What could go wrong? Now, normally, you know, there's always going to be like a long laundry list of mishaps that happen. Now, I haven't came across too many of those yet on my desk. So, but the week's still early.
You're right.
But you know, hopefully you guys had a safe and fun 4th of July and, you know, blew things up to your heart's desire. Ate some hot dogs. Did you eat a hot dog yesterday?
No, we ordered mod pizza. I was like, nobody's cooking. Let's just do pizza. And then my partners took the youngest to a fireworks stand, and he was so excited. There's a backpack just full of little fireworks for like $30.
Yeah.
They were tanks and crabs. And I don't know, my girlfriend was really excited about these little chicken ones.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so and they just did little colors and then, you know, little fighter jets, and I thought they were lame, but, you know, they had a blast.
Yeah, I do love those little fireworks sets that you get in boxes. Some of my favorite 4th of Julys, you know, were literally just sitting in a pool and then buying one of those fireworks shows in a box. There was a while there, a couple years in a row, actually, and it was cheap. It was like $20. You get this box, and it would put on like a mini 10-minute fireworks show for you. Yeah. And it like we just put it on one end of the pool, and we'd be drinking on the other end of the pool, light it off, and we're close enough that the fireworks looked huge. And it was a full-blown fireworks show. It was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. And I haven't had that experience yet. Again, I'm kind of like a curmudgeon at this point. Because, you know, I'm sure like Miranda looked like it was a blast, like 20,000 people, something like that. Oro Valley looked like there was space. There wasn't as many people. Beautiful backdrop with the mountain. With Powers was out there running around looking like a maniac and all those different outfit changes, like he's Madonna. You know, so that looked good. But, you know, for me, it was also, you know, in Arizona, it was also an excess heat day.
Yeah.
It just seems to happen like that.
Oh my God, it was so hot.
Yeah, and you know what? It wasn't even that hot. It just felt hotter. It was like 105, which 105, if you grew up in Arizona, you lived in Arizona, you're like, we could deal with 105. That ain't that bad. But yesterday it felt like 105 on the sun. Like it was super hot.
Yeah, we were real close to the source.
Yeah, dude. And I'm like, and then we're just gonna be blowing off fireworks, and it's only gonna be heating up my surrounding area. So.
No, I think I've officially reached an old age, because like the neighbors were shooting stuff off, and the kids are like, oh, look at that little setup, because like several went off, and I'm like, that looks like $200, and then I went inside.
Yeah. That's it. You're just gonna justify it.
Right, because when I grew up here, it was only the last couple of years that fireworks sales has actually become legal, at least in Pima County. Wow. And I remember people being like, we got to go to New Mexico. Like everybody would go to New Mexico the couple days before, buy all their fireworks. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's fun to blow stuff up in general. So, you know, I've had a good time lighting off fireworks. So I don't knock it by any means. I just know that everyone does it. And it was going on all night long that, you know, all that sulfur and smoke just stays and hangs. But at the end of the day, a happy hangover to you, and I hope that you guys are gonna have a great short week. That's what we have.
Mhm.
3 short days, ready to rock, going right into the weekend. And I know a lot of people out there doing the same. Now, each and every year, 4th of July means hot dog eating contest, right? But they almost didn't have a hot dog eating contest for the first time ever, at least the male part of the competition, because there was a horrific thunderstorm in the area, lightning strikes right around the boardwalk there. So they had to shut it down, Coney Island.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, they were able to continue with the competition after the storm passed. And Joey Chestnut, the man, the myth, the legend, won the crown again.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many years is that for him?
That's a good question. Let's see. Putting down boom,
Like 42? 16. Okay.
16th win
Jeez.
yesterday at the
Wow.
name Nathan's hot dog eating contest, holding off James Webb he had 47 hot dogs down. Actually, how many did he have? I don't know. Let's see. Here's the last 30 seconds of Joey's victory, in case you missed it, which I'm sure you did. All right, I realize you can't hear the audio there, so I'm just back here live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the podcast broadcast stream. Welcome back. Oh yeah, mute your laptop there, Rae L.
Oh my
We're gonna be
glory.
doing a tease here in a minute.
She panicked and just shut it all off.
Did you? Well, you don't have to do that. Rae L is joining us again here in studio, and all right, so yeah, he had over 60. So and in second place is 47.
I saw
Anthony's comment about the Marana fireworks
Insert
spectacular,
penis
which is
joke
exactly
here.
how I remember it pre-pandemic.
Mm.
So
being
let's
a
get
shit
things
show.
going. I know,
Oh my
obviously,
God.
there's a lot of people going
yesterday,
and I
so
felt like
it's
I
not
gave
necessarily
up on
Marana's
fault. I'm sure they did a good job of putting together this huge event.
Oh
my God, so massive. I mean, I'm gonna take so many people and then the parking and to get out of there, it takes hours on end. So did I go? No, I would not go. And unfortunately, felt bad for my dog. She's we're both kind of in the summertime funk, but she's 17. Let's kick things off. She's a little deaf-toned since it's hot outside. Here's my own summer on Rock 102.1 KFMA. You know the name of the show.
Audio in the background.
Let's go. Audio in the background.
What audio?
Audio in the background, talking over yourself.
Mm.
Oh, you know what? I know what I gotta do. Hold that thought. Stupid ass. Because it got. Let me do. Check. Okay, how's it now? My video just ended. Oh no, sorry. What it was my live stream or the show open video was playing in the background.
Got it.
All right, can you hear me now?
Everybody's saying good to go now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I love starting off like that.
Okay.
Well, anyways, so my daughter, she asked me, she's like, so what are we doing for 4th of July? I immediately go into radio bit where I'm like, I hate 4th of July. It's so hot. And you just sweat your balls off. And then for what? And then, so like I go into all the like grumpy old man shit.
Mm.
And then after I go on my like 15-minute rant, I'm like, why? You want to do something? She's like, well, not now.
Not now.
Yeah, you just told me for like an hour how much you hated 4th of July.
You just Kramered all over that. Now you want to go do something?
I know. All right. And I'm glad that you could hear me the whole time. Just that stupid video ahead of time. So we got Rae L in studio because she's performing tonight at the Club Congress, which is a big deal. All right. Yeah, get in on that mic. Get it close to you,
Hey
Rae L.
guys. Whoa.
There you go. Rae L is a good friend of the show. She's a spectacular artist, and she's performing tonight at Club Congress. It's like a headlining show.
No, actually, I'm the opener, but everybody keeps asking me if I'm headlining because of how much promo I've done and like how. But I'm committing to the bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're doing a great job for somebody
Thank
who's
you.
like opening the show at Club Congress because that's a lot of love. Who are you opening for?
So I'm gonna be there with Bliss Out, Disband, Elder Mama, and Chai.
Okay.
bunch of bands.
All right. And are they all local too?
They are all local.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Honestly, I think some of the best local shows at Club Congress happen on Wednesday nights. I've been seeing a
agree.
lot.
Mm.
Honestly, they kind of put together like stellar lineups each and every Wednesday. And that's for the hardcore. Those for the young people who still go out and party. And then
Right.
weekends like amateur night. And it's a bummer.
Mhm.
I was at Club Congress on Friday for Decker 2 Fridays ago.
You're right.
And Carlos's Rade. And it was okay. You know what I mean? Like Decker did phenomenal. Carlos did great as well. He had the local draw. But then after Carlos played, like most people kind of like filtered out. And it was me and like 7 other people. And I felt
Wow.
I felt bad for my boy. I know you're in these situations sometimes where you see a packed room, you're like, hell yeah, I'm about to kill this. And then there's like a 25-minute changeover, and then you hit the stage, and as soon as you look past the bright lights, you realize, oh wait, did this place close?
Right.
Right.
Everybody but my mom leave?
Right. Or
Yeah.
is it just the employees I'm playing to? What's going on?
Yes. And then as a pro, you still got to put on your best show.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what they say.
Yeah, but actually, you opening up on a Wednesday night is probably going to be ideal because you'll probably have the most amount of people there ready to go.
Yeah, they'll just
for
be
you.
ready to hear some music.
Yeah.
Ready to dance, hopefully. So
Right. Well, we have a lot that we're going to cover with Rae L, including playing a little song that she put together just to promote this event. Also, we got your TMI Top 5 coming up next, and top 3 reasons why women like bad boys over nice guys. I'm going to share that with you just to kind of get, you guys weighing in on it. And I feel like it's indisputable and you're not going to argue it.
Okay.
So, yeah. And it may
Wow.
even change the way that you look at who you're dating or potentially going to date based off of these qualities, because you might be falling for the bad boy trap. I know
Yes.
I set out the
I
bad
am,
boy
of
trap
course.
each and every
Yeah.
day. And all right. All right. So all that more coming up on the podcast broadcast. We're live, youtube.com/beefvegan. First, here's Avatar with new music from them called The Dirt I'm Buried In on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear. All right. And everything good here. All right.
Yeah. Apparently, they could hear our conversation that was happening during the show open.
No, what they heard was the show open video. That's what they heard. And so when I popped this back in because we weren't talking because I was playing audio, that was still playing in the background. So then
Got
they
it.
heard that talking.
Got it.
Yeah. So, we took 4 days off. So, mentally, I'm just kind of resetting. Like, how does this work again? How
Yeah.
do you do this?
Well, you said the computer reset. You had to re-put in all your passwords and
Right.
or just whatever the hell it does.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I don't know.
whole-
I don't pretend to know technology.
Look, and I'm not a technological person as well. I'm very much an idiot, but I have no anything to add to that. Actually, I just
but
yeah, but all right, yeah, point proven. All right.
I'm sure there was something.
All right, so let's see. I'm trying to find what was the email that you sent me that promo clip on. Yeah, that was probably to my Beef Vegan at KFMA, right?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I gotta forward that to my Gmail because I want to play this. This is a nice little bit. How'd you record this? You have the home recording set up?
We just opened a studio over on Prince, like my music group did. So we record everything from there now. We
Nice.
have like a vocal booth that Jay and his uncle built, and yeah.
Oh, that's
pretty
awesome.
Sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, and is that going to be open to the public as well? They're going to be renting out studio space?
Yeah, we rent out studio time right now. We've been like doing sessions and having like little summer events where we bring in like DJs and we have drinks and people come and play pong, hang out.
Yeah,
It's been
nice.
fun. It's been really cool.
That's fun. Yeah. Is it inspiring? So when you're there, you're kind of partying up in the studio. Do you get, a ton of ideas and then start creating in the process, or are you just raging out playing pong?
So we don't really party there very like the only times that we've like partied at our studio is for those like summer sessions, but those are still pretty like controlled because it's an event. So
Yeah.
But other than that, like I don't know. I don't really feel like I make my best music when I'm drunk or like completely messed up. So I kind of just stick to creating when I'm maybe a little joint.
That's good. Now,
Right.
Like but-
when you write, do you wait till you're inspired to write?
Sometimes.
All right. Or
we
do you
make like the beat while we're like there, and then if we like it, and then we'll like start writing, or if we don't, we'll just make a new beat and
I'll tell you what, this is a homework assignment for you, and I'm
Okay.
just forwarding your email. Set a time each and every day
Mhm.
where you sit down and write,
Yeah.
whether you're inspired or
Mhm.
not.
Yeah.
Because, and I've showed this to Rico, who has been writing these 5-star reviews, and he's super talented, as people who watch the show know. But when I initially said, "Hey, I need you to do that as a bit," he pushed back, and he's like, I do those when I'm inspired to do those. And I'm
Right.
like, no, a creative brain. We often confuse ourselves thinking we need to be in that headspace
Mhm.
to do what we do while we're in that headspace. But the reality is the talent is inside us. The inspiration doesn't always have to be there. It's the work ethic. You can
Right.
work
Yeah.
your way into creating something. And sometimes when you're not inspired, you put together some of the best
Mhm.
work.
Right.
Because at the
True.
end of the day, the people who put in the work are the ones that go to that next level.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is.
Right.
So,
And we were talking earlier, like it's the consistency thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, because then once you get used to it, it's like then your brain like knows to turn that on. Like,
Mhm.
nope,
Yeah.
it's 8 a.m. Tuesday, let's go. Like,
Yeah. Sure.
I'm always the one making the argument for consistency in anything, creative endeavors, working at anything. Just
Yeah.
consistency is where it's going to be at.
Yeah, and we've learned this from a couple of friends of the show, who are female musicians as well, like Luna Aura and Upsal, are two of my friends that are out in LA doing their thing.
Yeah.
And they both also write for other artists, and as a job, like that's literally how they make their income in LA, with the exception of their own career as they're starting
Mhm.
to amass money. But the majority of their bills are being paid for by being session songwriters. And session songwriters, you literally go in, it's like a 9 to 5,
Mhm.
Right.
each and every day. Okay, what are we writing about today? Boom, go down, put the work, and they're not inspired each and every day.
Right.
That's not how inspiration works, right? But you're, with your brain, if you put in the work, or just tell yourself that you're going to do it, then,
And
inspiration finds you.
especially like when we were talking to Luna about it, I'm sure there's like the one who's like, this isn't gonna go anywhere. This is the dumbest, worst thing I've ever put out. And then it ended up on some TV show on
Yeah,
HBO
and then
Max, and
people
she made a
love
ton of
it.
money.
Always,
Yeah.
always it happens.
How it
It's
is.
it's that throwaway song that you think,
Mhm.
oh, this is too stupid and too easy. Boom. And I tell this to bands all the time too when picking out a single. A lot of times when I get singles submitted to me from a musician, it's like, okay, this one either has the emotional value to that individual,
Mhm.
or B, the technical side of it, where they're proud of what they're able to kind of pull off musically, right?
Mhm.
And usually both those scenarios are a disaster when it comes to picking out like a single.
Right.
It's literally usually something that they put the least amount of thought into and disregarded. It's like, hey, that's the catchy song.
Right.
That's the banger.
Right. And like
Yeah.
the videos on my social media that have taken off, I'm like, really? That one? That one I took 10 minutes on? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Right. But
true.
trying to like recreate that on purpose. Like, so
Right.
I still try to keep that mentality of like, I'm just going to throw it out there. Just going to
Just
throw it out there. And then
yeah.
we'll see what
That's what they
happens.
say.
Yeah.
They say to do.
Yep.
Crazy.
All right, let's get into your TMI top 5. We got top 5 headlines here I want to share with my friend Rae L, who's performing tonight at Club Congress and Weirdo.
Mhm.
Here's the first one. Congratulations, guys. We survived the first half of 2023.
Okay.
Wow.
We're going to be in the second half of the year now. Actually, noon on Saturday was the halfway or the midway point. So
Okay.
we are currently in the second half of the year.
All right.
Yeah. So you could literally say you're this amount of age and a half.
Okay.
All right. So,
And it's all downhill from here. Let's go.
I hope not.
yeah,
I mean,
Jeez.
a lot of the I didn't expect this on my bingo card for 2023 has happened. So
No,
maybe
right.
it'll slow down.
Oh, that's so pessimistic.
I
of you.
know.
We
I know.
survived a pandemic together, weirdo. We're going to be
I
fine, knock
know.
on wood. All right, I'm terrified. Aliens are coming. All right, here's another one. If you need to get a bigger boost from coffee than others, feel like you need to get a bigger boost from coffee than other stuff with caffeine, a new study found that the ritual of drinking coffee might help. If you love coffee and look forward to it, just the sight, smell, and taste wakes you up too. So
Okay.
it's the placebo effect of having that daily routine.
Right, that routine again. And I'm somebody I hate the taste of coffee, but I love the smell of it because I'll smell it in the morning when I make my husband's coffee, and I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's do the thing.
Is
So
that
you
the best
can
part of
attest.
waking up?
Is the smell of my husband's coffee?
In your cup.
Nah. Marketing for the win. All right.
Full juice.
This is bad news for Rico. And actually, I have to really thoroughly investigate what they mean by this. But
Mm.
fake 5-star reviews are a very real thing online, as we know. All right. Because Rico does them every Tuesday. But now the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission, is talking about making them illegal with huge fines for sellers. Now, here's the good thing. All right. It's for sellers individually trying to like falsely give themselves
Right.
5-star reviews,
Right.
not funny guys
Doing satirical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny guy.
But up to $50,000 is the proposed fine for each fake review. So I have to double check and super make sure
All right.
that I'm not trying to get my buddy broke for like 3 generations.
Right.
Yeah. So it's up to $50,000 for each fake review and for every time a customer sees it. So
Ooh.
theoretically speaking, you could have 10 different customers see that one fake review and give you 10 little thumbs up and be like, oh, good. That's $500,000.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it's for sellers. And as long as we're not 5-star reviewing our own products or radio stations, we should be okay.
Right.
All right.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Right. Knock
To
on.
read the fine print.
All right. According to a new Pew Research report, I just love Pew Research.
Mm. Pew.
Yeah, exactly. This is a new record. 25% of 40-year-olds in the U.S. have never been married. I told you this earlier this morning. It's 100% factual. Now, you haven't been married yet, Rae L,
No, I
but
have
you're
not.
still young. And you can see this. It's a growing trend. So by the time you reach 40, I'm sure it might be 50% of 40-year-olds in the U.S. have never been married. And researchers believe it's because people are getting smarter. Anyways,
I make up for it though. I was married 3 times by the time I was 31, so
There you
I've
go.
balanced it out for both of you. How about that?
Cancels out and comes back around.
There we
yeah,
go.
a way to add to my people are getting smarter argument. And well, there's your team, my top 5.
Okay.
Oh, we got so much more we're going to get to, but we're keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. Clear. Because I was going to end it with Pornhub blocked access to Virginia, in Virginia, to protest the state's new age verification law.
This just further shows just how far behind, whether it's state government level or federal government level, of how far behind they are on trying to regulate anything with technology.
Really?
Well, because we went over this a couple weeks ago of like just all the states have completely like just different ways of trying how they're going to try to combat either TikTok or again Pornhub or anything like that. Like with the age verification thing, like that can be fake so easy.
What do you do? Check a box?
You check a box.
You check a box.
Oh,
No.
okay.
It's more than that actually, because you have to show.
Right. You're supposed to like do a picture of your ID. Who the hell's checking them?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, it's online verification. So you have to submit your information, and you have to also submit photographs of your like state issued ID, and go through all this process. Pain in the ass, and it's very difficult to do with only one hand. So like they have that going on, but but that's just Pornhub. That's the one protesting it. Then people are just going to X videos or going to various other sites. To get their porn fix for the time being. Right. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It's backward ass Bible shit. All right. Let me hit the reset because earlier this morning we talked about Tip the promo kid who's like 50 something. Now I love Tip. And I explained this in this clip, but he inadvertently pisses me off to no other end. And this is the example that I had hanging out with Tip on a Saturday. Check this out. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. Of course, with the holiday weekend, there was a lot of car sales happening with Jim Click all over Tucson. I was at a remote on Saturday or Friday. It all blurs together. I think it was Friday.
No, it was Saturday.
Oh, it was Saturday. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So, with that, it was fun. Went out to Jim Click Mazda and just kind of hung out with the crew and saw Tammy. She came by. Daniel, shout out to Daniel. Some listeners came by, got some pictures, which was awesome. And then, of course, we were hanging out with Tip. Now, Tip was in studio last week. Tip is, he's an odd duck, man. He's our like 50-something-year-old promo kid. Now, normally, the promotions department is that of like college students or right out of high school, something around the age range of like 18 to 25.
The age range of still has hope.
yeah. Now, Tip is just, he's just a fan of radio, like extreme fan of radio. And grew up listening to it and just loves it. So he's a good guy, but I've never met somebody in my entire life that that has intentions so pure that irritate and make me so mad. I'll give you an example. Like he does, and I'll try to like we'll have him on the show as you'll get the no tip, and you'll see this kind of foot and mouth itis he has.
Mm.
You know, again, his intentions are not to harm whatsoever. If anything, he is putting you on a pedestal and trying to show you the utmost amount of love and respect, and it couldn't annoy me more. So 2 examples that I remember off the top of my head. I roll up in my car, my Kia Soul, and it's what I can afford. I'm about to pay it off. And it is what it is. And he's like, "Oh, there's a Kia Soul, it's a nice car. That's your car? That's a very nice car. That's a good like little girl car." And I'm like, "Well, F you, Tip."
Little girl
he
car.
meant that in like a very positive way. And I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm gonna actually give it to my daughter eventually." He's like, "Oh, no, it's perfect for her." Yeah. Not perfect for me though. Okay, I get what you're saying, and F you, Tip. So like, that was the first of many other little things that, again, his intentions are still to make you feel good, and he just fails so colossally that I'm irritated and offended at his compliments. He looked at me out of nowhere. I'm trying to conversate with the crew there, and he looked at me and he goes, "I bet you have a really nice house. You look like someone who would have a really nice house." Like, no, F you, Tim. I just moved into a condo, and it's average at best. I live practically on Grand Avenue. What are you talking about? Oh, I'm surprised. I thought you would have like a really nice like mansion. They're like, shut up, dude. Well, because he puts radio on a pedestal, right? He doesn't understand the actual nuts and bolts of everything. And by every metric, I am a success, with the exception of one, and that's the financial metric.
Right.
That's a very important metric, dude.
It is.
And I'm like, stop reminding me. Like, you already pointed out my Kia Soul. Who have you met with a Kia Soul that lives in a very nice house?
Right.
I mean, you might have an okay house. You might like live in Marana and got in before the bubble expanded, and your mortgage is probably around $1,000 or $1,500, and you're getting by.
Right.
But that's not a very nice house. That's not an Oro Valley, I retired after making a ton of bank house. But this is what he puts it on that pedestal. And again, his intentions are like, "Hey man, you like a big deal, and I bet you live in a nice house. That's great, dude. Shut up."
Yeah.
No, I'm like the realest on the radio, to the point where you might see me on Grant 910 with the cardboard sign saying anything helps. So but I
Tip is a trip.
He's a
He
trip.
really is.
And I love the guy. He couldn't be nicer in the most offensive way. So they basically overbooked the show, and then they're like, "You got to start right at 6."
Kind of, yeah. So I'll be going as the doors are open, but I'm probably gonna like try and either push back like 10 minutes, take a 20-minute set.
Honestly, a 6 o'clock show on a Wednesday is a show that I could probably even make.
See, that's what I was surprised about. All my friends were like, "When is it?" And I was like, "Oh, it's 6 p.m. on a Wednesday." They're like, "Oh my gosh, I can actually go." And I'm like, "Oh, we're all like service industry people.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we don't start it. We
Right.
don't work normal hours."
Right.
That's true. So what, they work at 7 or something, or 8, or are you talking like bartenders?
Like weekends usually, which is
Yeah.
usually when
Right.
the shows are. So.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
People
Oh,
that
that's
people
good.
can
You
show
should
up,
have
yeah.
a good amount of people showing up for your show. And in fact, actually, Rae, since you're here, before we get into the single song takeover, which is going to go out to Jeff, who emailed me this morning, I want to play this little clip that you put together, which I think, can I play it? Because we can't say anything because we're on the podcast broadcast stream. But I want to just play your little promotional song.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not our single song takeover. It's about 45 seconds, but this is how excited Rae L was to announce that she's performing at Club Congress tonight.
Hey, do you want to come to a show? Because I got a show July 5th. I got a show at Club Congress. I got a show July 5th. I got a show at Club Congress. Bet you want to see me do a backflip off the walls, off the stage, in the crowd, yeah. If you come to the show, I will do that for you. Chill with disband another mama. His name is just Chai, that's been the drama. And I know that Bliss out will be there too. I got a show July 5th. I got a show at Club Congress. Not gonna do a backflip. Not gonna do a backflip. Sorry. I got a show July 5th. I got a show at Club Congress. Not gonna do a backflip. Not gonna do a backflip. Sorry. Cause honestly, I don't know how. I like to make people come out. Yeah, honestly, I don't know how to.
Oh, it just stopped. Oh,
But I don't know how to do a backflip.
no, yeah, I can tell. That's
I
what
do.
you were saying. All right, you should show up to do a
Yeah, you should
backflip
show
for
up and
Rae
do
L
that.
tonight.
You ready? Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
No, don't do it
girl.
right now. Okay.
Wait, that's amazing.
You should do that
Double
now. You can borrow
backflip right
that.
there
So
for
good.
you.
Wow, that was impressive. Rae L.
That was cool.
You don't know that old joke? Come
No,
on.
I do now though.
Uh,
All right, let's do our single song takeover. Going out to Jeff. It's Kill Switch Engage. This song's called Cut Me Loose on Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, and I know that if Jeff is watching the stream, I know that's not the song that you suggested, but unfortunately, I don't have the other song in our playlist. So
somebody's asking what's the price at the door tonight.
$10.
only $10.
steal.
It's a steal.
And they're available at the door.
To see you do a
online.
double backflip,
And I just learned how to do a really
Right,
good double
right,
backflip.
Right. I'm a real good
To be
teacher.
honest, like I didn't know it was that easy.
I'm so stupid. I was just like, you don't even have enough
He was
room.
like, "Don't do it right now." And I was like,
I don't even know how it looked on camera. I'm just like,
That would have been
"Rant."
crazy if you did a double backflip like over the.
Well, that would have been
everything.
yeah.
I would have been like, "Whoa, you're coming to the show, and I'm paying for your ticket."
I would have considered you a straight up alien. Be like, you're not even human.
Crazy.
All right.
Just defying gravity.
Nice.
Love
Well,
it.
good luck, Taco, in Vegas at the tables and for finding aliens. They're out there. And
They are.
yeah, they've been doing that. So, yeah.
I'm so proud of myself for that.
It was good. It was very good. Just the fact that I fell for it. But I'm
Yeah, you're gullible apparently.
I am super gullible though. I mean, I'm going to believe anything somebody tells me at first, and it's going to take me a second to be like, wait a second, you full of shit. But this constantly happens. You know?
Mhm.
And I was so concerned. My butt clenched. I was like, she's gonna hurt herself.
I'm gonna break the
The
banner behind me.
Mhm. Yeah, brutal. All right, I'm gonna give you 3 tips here.
Oh yeah, I want to hear this.
Yeah. Well, it's why women can't stand nice guys,
Mm.
right? And this, I saw this online, and we'll get the breakdown here. But honestly, there are 3 examples as to why we can't stand nice guys.
Mm.
I think are spot on. Now, if you were to guess, or your reasons why you don't necessarily like a nice guy, what would you think that is?
I mean,
Like, are you currently dating a nice guy? Yes or no?
I just dumped a nice guy.
You did dump a nice
Mm.
But
guy,
he wasn't like a genuine guy. He was just a nice guy, which I
right?
feel like is more of like a surface level kind of thing.
Like a
Right.
facade.
Yeah.
Mm,
Right?
okay.
Yeah, that's kind of eye opening. What do you say, weirdo?
For me, it's definitely like, first of all, daddy issues. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah,
Like, come
girl.
on. That's childhood trauma. It's fine. But like, I was thinking about it. It's something that's appealing to me is somebody that has that kind of danger or that anger in them,
A little bit of an
but can keep it sheathed. You know what I mean? Like they have that power of like, I could be this way, but I choose not to because it's the wrong thing to do. So like I psychologically deep dive it a little bit more and it makes me feel slightly better.
Well, those aren't the reasons that I came across, but I did come across an online thread talking about why women can't stand nice guys.
Mm.
And, I asked both Weirdo and Rae L on the podcast broadcast stream their reasons. And Weirdo's was daddy issues. And
My mom listens. Hi, that's
Yeah.
your husband.
yeah, and Rae basically was saying that because it felt like a facade, right?
Mm.
And I'll tell you this, that is the number one reason why women can't stand nice guys, because nice guys aren't real, right? So if you're too nice, women won't trust you because they'll seem like you're faking it. Now, bad boys might treat a woman like crap, but at least they're genuine about it. Like legitimately, that's the reason here. It's like, hey, he's a bad guy, he's a bad boy, and he treats me terribly, but he's super honest.
Right. He's just true to himself.
Right.
Sexy.
Yeah. So it's a fine line of being the nice guy, bad boy, because you know, you don't want to be disingenuous. You want to be as sincere as possible, right? But B, you still want to show chivalry. You still want to be nice. Right. And sometimes I guess there's no way to do it. So I guess when you're approaching someone online, you're just like, hey, bitch, what are you doing tomorrow? You got plans?
He insults my cooking, but he holds my door open.
Yeah, winner.
Well, here's 2 more reasons, okay? They say, number 2, because women don't respect them. They say nice guys will do anything for a woman, but women won't respect you 100% if they know they can control everything that you do. And if they don't respect you, then they won't be attracted to you. Right.
Like if they're just like this just big pushover.
Yeah.
Right. Cause like, I don't know, like I like to have some of that pushback. Like, don't just agree with everything I say. Like that ends conversations. That doesn't continue them.
That's pretty good. Yeah. I keep that in mind. And finally,
don't be a yes
Don't
man.
use that in a different way.
No, the number 3 reason why women can't stand nice guys is because nice guys are too predictable. So it's the same for men and women. If the person you're with is exciting in some way, you're more likely to be into them. But bad boys tend to be more exciting because you never know what they're going to do. Because, hey, that's just a side effect of meth. It's so unpredictable. It's so hot.
Good punchline, but I was actually going to go somewhere. But that's what I talked about. The danger factor, that unpredictability is also in that as well. Of like, how am I going to react? Is this going to be something I like? I don't like that pushback, that push and pull. So
yeah. It's like, oh, he's a bad boy. When he chokes me during sex, I don't know if he'll stop before I die.
Okay, so your definition of a bad boy is a murderer who does meth and treats their girl like trash.
Yeah, you know, and I'm a nice guy, and that's the thing. I'm tired of getting overlooked by these bad boys here.
Yeah.
They're tweaking their balls off and they're gonna murder you, ladies. I'll open the door.
Right, but he can play guitar.
Oh, wow. And he rides a motorcycle or something, I'm sure.
That was my second marriage, so there you go.
All right, we're on the podcast broadcast. That was a good out. So yeah. All right, and there you go. Let's see. Anthony said there's normal nice, and then there is some over the top creepy nice. I'm sure you get that. You get that a lot. I mean, you gotta have dating fails at your age right now, Rae L.
Oh,
and you know, I mean, it's we're dating in 2 different generations, right? So you're dating dudes in their 20s and like-minded, right? And I'm dating like women my age appropriate, like, you know, 30s to 40s kind of thing. And it's a whole different spectrum,
right?
I can imagine and stuff. But when you meet somebody, first off, how are you meeting them to even talk to them?
I try to meet people in real life. Now I haven't used dating apps in like over a year, like since last October, probably October 2022. It was the last time I was on them. So I've just been meeting people like out in the real world. Just
going to like events, shows, clubs and stuff like that, and then starting to talk. And
yeah, I don't really I don't know. I don't really date around as much as I think people sometimes think I date around a lot, and I definitely like used to when I was like in my really early 20s and like teenage years, but I've kind of slowed down because I'm tired and I have a lot of life left to live, and I'm like, oh my God, dating's exhausting. So I kind of just
it's so time consuming. It really is, you know, like you want to just kind of skip a point or skip like a large part of all the different activities and like, let's just chill on the couch. When can we get to just chill on the couch and like not really doing anything? Maybe order some DoorDash. When can we get to that point?
Right.
You know, and I find that the biggest hurdle in adult dating, if you will.
It's all this small talk. Like that's what I remember, because like I've been off the dating app since the beginning of last year, and like just the small talk of like, now granted, like we have the extra filter of being women, so we need to like kind of be like, all right, how quickly can I discern that this dude's a creep or not?
Right.
But even like when I was dating women and stuff, like not as much of a worry for the creepy factor, but just like, is there a connection? How can we figure out there's a connection quicker than like I don't know. What do you do for like? I don't.
Right.
I don't do small talk. I can't. I'm like, let's dive deep right away, and then of
Yeah,
course I
get
would
to
get
know
no
each other.
responses. So
Right.
Yeah.
it didn't work.
My
Right.
problem is that it's like opposite flip of like dating from like I guess like being in your 30s maybe, where it's like I want to do things and go out, but everybody in their 20s is incredibly broke. So we are starting off with just like hanging out, chilling on the couch, not really doing much. And I'm like, I want to go to like a museum or
Mhm.
like maybe go to a bar, go to dinner, like get a drink or something. But it's kind of flipped. I
Yeah.
think.
No, and I
maybe
call
it'll flip
that
the other way one day.
Mhm.
yeah, what I called that earlier. It was a financial, and I feel it right now. It's I was calling it like kind of a financial paralysis. So you get to the point where financially you're so stretched thin that you don't want to do anything.
Right.
And it's just a deterrent, and it really prevents you from being able to like go out and meet, because dating costs money in every situation, especially for guys, right? So I feel like currently right now, because I did a move recently and I have this vacation coming up. Luckily it's a family vacation, or I wouldn't even go. But it's still gonna cost money. And like every dollar I spend hurts me. And so, when I have like people being like, "Hey, what are you doing Saturday night?" I'm like, literally nothing. If
Laying
it costs me
down.
nothing,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna
Right.
be sitting in my dark condo with the the thermostat on 80, because I don't want to spend more than I have to.
Right.
And so it's not just people in their 20s, it's also adults who
Everyone.
work in
Right.
radio. Yeah, things are super fucking tough for sure. And that it is disappointing though, because there are creative ways to be broke and date. And I did this when I was younger and it works swimmingly, but I don't know if I could pull it off again in my 40s. I went to McDonald's and I busted out a candelabra and and I had a tablecloth and I had a little boombox
Cute.
with some romantic music. I'm telling you, like one of the best dates and best date results that I've gotten in my adult life. And we just sat there and just full on lady and tramped it. And that day cost me at the time, like less than $10,
Right.
Yeah.
for both. I got her a Happy Meal. So, and there are different events that are happening around town. Tucson Foodie pointed this out. Like the Sonoran Desert Museum, sometimes they'll do night things. That's pretty cheap.
No, it's not. I
If
looked
you
it
get
up.
passes from us, okay.
Well, yeah, because I looked it up because like I got the advertisement wherever they're doing their nights thing, and I was like, oh, they're doing a bats one. I love bats, love that animal, and $30.
Oh, yeah, okay.
$30. Now, for all my broke people out there, if you have an EBT card, a food stamp card, even if there's no money on it and you still just have the card, there's all kinds of places you can get into for much cheaper, like $1 or $3.
Okay.
So look that up online. That is something that we've recently discovered. I'm like, hell yeah, because we have a large family.
Yeah.
So it adds up quick. So even if it is something that's only 10 or 15 bucks to get in, once you times that by 7, I'm like, that's $100 day right there.
I'm telling you, nothing turns on a woman more than when you bust out your EBT card. I'm telling you.
Be discreet about it, but
You can also go to the library. Like if you get a library card, they have culture passes you can
Yes.
check out, and you get like 2 tickets a week. You can do it like twice a month, and it's for like all the museums in Tucson,
Right.
like
Oh.
Desert Museum. It's
Yeah,
really
see,
cool.
those are good dates, right? And
Right.
there was a place that I found on Tucson Foodie, and it's like the Sonoran Desert Museum. It's on Ina, right by the Whole Foods up there.
Mhm.
And it's a place that I didn't even know about. I don't know if too many people know about it, but it's beautiful. So they're doing these nighttime summer activities and events where they'll bust out a bar. They had live music. They had like Desert Fish play when I went there. So I literally took girl on a date there. It was smooth, right?
Okay.
Because first
Cool.
off, you're walking around, you got the atmosphere, you're just walking. Now that's first and foremost, you're not spending that much money. Now, unfortunately, they did have a bar there. I had to put some drinks on my credit card,
Right.
and I'll be paying that off for the next 6 fucking months. But like, yeah, I had to pretend like, yeah, this doesn't bother me at all.
All right.
But
Interest rate. Damn it.
right. But so, you walk around this beautiful like desert landscape, and then it has, fun little conversation starters and tidbits of information, and got music in the background, lights, and it was super fun. So there are a lot of places like that in the area where you can do creative dating.
Okay.
That won't cost you money. But the problem is a lot of people don't think outside the box like that. They're like,
Right.
shit. All right, now I got to do dinner, and it's got to be a nice enough restaurant, and I got to do drinks somewhere.
Right.
At the easy stuff. Got to do Dave and Buster's or something like that.
Yeah, but even Dave and Buster's is expensive.
No, I'm saying
So,
like everything
yeah.
that I was just mentioning, those are all expensive options.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm working on my active listening skills. Sorry.
that's right.
Well, because then I just started thinking of like, okay, well, what do me and my partners do that's free a lot, which is like camping and like we'll just drive out to like Star Pass or just somewhere and just like look at stars, things like that. But those are or even going on hikes, but those aren't like good like first date ideas. Like I'm sure that if some dude was like, yeah, let's go on a hike in the middle of nowhere, I'm gonna be like, I'm coming back in a trash bag. Like that's not gonna happen.
Fearful.
Now, let me ask you this, Rae. Do you feel obligated to get physical on a date if the guy takes you out to like dinner and spend some money on you?
No.
Now, I think this is a 20s thing because I'll give you an example. And I just wanted to share this story because I thought it was hilarious. So the other week I had a soft opening to go to, right? So in these soft openings with these restaurants, they'll invite you if you're in the media and then you get everything for free. You basically test it out, right? So, it popped up and I was like, well, I got like my daughter was initially going to go with me, but then she got called into work. So I, called one of like my friends that I knew that I used to hook up with back in the day. And I was just like, hey, what are you doing? You want to join me on this? Cause we hang out and have fun. And she's like, yeah, that sounds fun. And she's like, but I do have to say that, right after, like, I mean, I made plans with my friends, so I don't have time to hang out afterwards. And I cracked up and I was just like, look, I think that's super sweet that you're just like, he's taking me out to dinner. I got to bang this guy. But at the same time, I'm not paying for this meal. So like, at least like, if I was taking you to Outback Steakhouse, then yeah, a handy would be appreciated. But I mean, this is like, I'm literally not like spending a dime.
Right. You're like, I just didn't want to go alone.
Yeah. And it'll be fun. Your company is fine and good enough, but I thought the intention there was beautiful. I was like, yeah, that's really
That was really nice of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super appreciate it.
Afterwards, I'm just like, every day since, I'm like, what are you doing later? You hungry? you want to eat? I got this EBT card. No.
Jesse mentioned, Reed Park and going and seeing the ducks.
Yeah.
Don't walk through the rose garden. There's like 3 rose bushes left. I don't know what they've done, but they are not upkeeping the rose garden at all. Used to be so beautiful. Now it's just barren.
No.
Yeah.
Barren rose garden.
I'll meet me out back.
That's right. Meet me out back.
Meet me out back.
You got that blooming onion. That's third base. And anything steak related, all the way, babe. That's just the way it works. What's a phrase that you think that people would consider an automatic red flag? Like if you heard somebody say something, you're like, that's a red flag. But like common phrases that you hear all the time.
My ex is crazy.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what did you do to them? What did you do? Why are they crazy?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I stopped saying that altogether. No matter how crazy the exes were, I realized the common denominator there was. And so yeah, that's definitely one. And I asked this because this was a Reddit thread. A lot of people has shared a lot of red flags, and some of them were like obvious, and some of them were kind of surprising. So like here's a red flag for like work. Like we are like a family here. Right? When they say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about that in the when you go in for a job interview or a job posting and they say, like, we're like family. No. I'm here to work and go home.
Overworked.
That means you want me to hang out and keep doing stuff and not be paid. Got it.
Like I'll yell at you and not show you any respect, just like I do my family. I have no choice. Let's see. I'm brutally honest. That's just who I am. So people consider that.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you come across someone who said they're brutal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so that was a red flag. What did they do to kind of earn that red flag status?
I mean, I feel like people can be honest, but it's like the people who are like, no, I'm just being honest. They're just being mean.
Right.
Like, it's every time.
You're like, you have the finesse of a brick through a window.
Right.
Like, good job.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I guess there is a fine line of being brutally honest or just being sadistically mean to people for the sake of being mean, trying to drop them down a peg. So you got to know if you have someone in your circle that considers themselves brutally honest, are they just a toxic friend that you don't want in your environment? So we're going through phrases that people consider as automatic red flags, according to this Reddit thread. Did you think of any while we were going through some of this list?
No, I mean, there's just so many of them where I'm like, really? Like what? No. But it's probably like work related stuff, like as per my email. Like, oh yeah, that means F you in, in work speak.
Take another look. Yeah.
Let's see. Here's a couple that was on the Reddit thread. I relate to this one, and I probably used it myself. The saying, "It's because I'm a Scorpio or Pisces or etc."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah, well, look,
Guilty.
I'm a Scorpio. I do Scorpio things. I'm sorry,
I'm a
like,
Scorpio.
Yeah,
we do Scorpio things.
Yeah.
you
When
know?
people catch my multiple personalities, I'm like, I'm just a Gemini. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
Yeah.
God, it's not my fault. It's
we
the
got
stars.
2 Scorpios and a Gemini in here right now. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the building will be on fire by the time we're done.
we're red flags. Yeah. Here's a couple other sayings that are automatic red flags for people and stuff. If you hear someone say, "I never fart," like this is usually a girl in a situation. Have you ever claimed to not be a farter to somebody you're dating?
No.
No.
There you go.
Absolutely
So you guys are normal. You know what? You guys are marriage material. Only the crazy girls will lie about something that is a common bodily function.
There's just no way you don't. Like, if you didn't fart, you would, like, you know, that submarine thing that just happened?
Yeah.
That would be
implode.
you.
You
Right.
you probably explode. But
Right.
I did date a girl who swore she never pooped, and I actually lived with her for a couple of years, and I never caught her. And I'm just like, oh my God, you're gonna die. Like,
Right.
that's not good for you. And like, where does it go? I'm sure
Ugh.
she does, but never caught her. Never once. Never even saw any remnants in the toilet. Like
Wow.
afterwards. Yeah. And there's more information I'll give you, but I got to give it on the podcast broadcast because I can't say it on the radio.
Whoa.
Join us, youtube.com/beefvegan, or keep it right here because we'll be back with your beef tip after this. Yeah, and she was into butt stuff. And I'm just like, and you would think that sometimes butt stuff gets messy where it's like, yeah,
Right.
I'm not that big of a fan, especially if it's just like, it's not the
Right.
prime time to do it.
Right.
That was never an issue.
Just buy her the book. Everybody poops and it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay, girl.
Right.
Yeah, either she was full of shit or she just did not produce shit. It was very impressive.
That is horrifying and impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, and trust me, I became like a poo detective. I was like, after about 6 months living with her, I'm like, I'm gonna find this shit. Like I'm going to bust you in this moment, and it's one way or another. I got to know that it comes out. Right.
Right. Are you an alien? Like, what the hell?
Right.
Probably.
So, all the different things I tried, with the exception within my own, luckily I didn't have the resources to buy like hidden cameras or anything, or I'd have one in the toilet seat. So
Wow, she could have sued you.
she could.
Right.
But you would have gotten the answer you needed.
Yes.
I
Right,
guess
would've
it
been
would've
worth it.
fine.
That's how much it bothered me. I'm like, I need to know this answer. This is what happens when, something perplexes me. And I'm like, I will obsess about finding out what the reason is. That's the same thing when, huh?
PI.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Just looking, the P stands for poo. I was looking I was a poo investigator, and I'm just trying to find this.
Hey, that was so good.
Thanks. But yeah, and more power to her. Now, again, I mean, I would still love to find out eventually, and I'm sure she does, but I still have not seen that. And there was another situation, I mentioned this before, like, when I saw an advertisement for dwarf strippers, exotic dancers, then I didn't there was no real appeal for that at the time. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's funny. And then I'm like, wait a second. How does a dwarf stripper give a lap dance? And then I'm like, well, shit, now I need to know. So yeah, I ended up paying the extra like door fee and went there for the show to see what the answer was. How does it? Do they use a step ladder? Do they have like a security guy like pick them up and put them right there and then move them around? Like,
Wow.
yeah, right. Like, what is the protocol? And the answer was, and so I'll save you all money. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't give lap dances.
Nope, they just do stage.
Yeah, they just do stage and they'll take pictures with you, and yeah. So then you're like sitting in a chair, all like, half chub, ready to go. And they're just standing next to you saying cheese, like shit. Yeah. So that's what I found out. Yeah. And I was on a date when I found that out.
Sounds like a cool date.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It was not a bad date.
Just always just like, did that just really happen? Yep, that just happened. Well, because you were telling me about it was a mom and a daughter,
It was a
wasn't it?
mom and a daughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the blonde was exceptional. That was the daughter. And the mom was brunette. who had mom boobs that like she could tell was dwarf mom boobs, which I'm a fan of mom boobs. You know, which are like kind of like, you know, they've had milk and they're kind of deflated, but that could be very sexy. But on a dwarf, it just didn't seem right. It was.
Oh,
I'm not trying to be hypercritical, but I will like this literally happened. So it's me and this girl Jackie. Okay, Jackie and I are dating. We're having fun. So we're very like-minded. When I proposed to her, the idea of like I gotta figure this out, and she's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, we do." Right. So she was all
She was
about it.
down.
Yeah. So we go up to the stage and we have dollars and the mom's dancing and she's in her like bikini and she's dancing and they're like, take it off. And we're like right there, right in front.
Yeah.
She's like standing right here and we're like, yeah, take it off. We got dollars in the hand, right? Jackie's standing right next to me. Yeah, take it off. She busts it out. As soon as we saw her boobs, we both literally went opposite directions like this way. Couldn't go fast enough. I almost literally broke my neck. I could not. I could be paralyzed today by how fast I looked away.
Boobs.
Now her face is right there. Now obviously the reaction is probably something she's seen before, but it was like so obvious, and we didn't want to be disrespectful at all. It was just one of those things where we're too young and never saw something like that before. And our first reaction, it was like fight or flight. And we flew the fuck out of there. We're like, oh, take it. Like,
thank you.
Felt so bad. Gave her the money and then stepped away and then focused all our energy on her daughter. But, you know, who had fake dwarf boobs and it was pretty phenomenal. So I think they're still a traveling act, to be honest with you.
I can't imagine doing anything like that with my mom, to be honest. That would.
Oh, you don't have a close relationship with your mom?
I love my mother, but not in a way that I want to be co-stripping with her on a tour.
Right.
You know, or at all.
No, I know. I think they were pretty famous for what they did for a while.
Sure. There's definitely like a niche for everything.
Yeah.
It's a rule 36, rule 46 of the internet.
Yeah.
If somebody's into it, there is a website.
Right.
Yeah. And I didn't think I would be into it, but I surprisingly was like, all right, not bad.
You experienced it.
I did. I lived it, and I felt pretty good about it.
There you go.
Let's see. I want to play just up. Nope. Damn it. Nope. We'll reset that. But welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. That was our show outro. I played a little too early, but that's okay. We're back live on the air. Our guest today on the podcast broadcast is the beautiful and talented Rae L. You could see her tonight for an early show at Club Congress. Tickets only $10. And she's gonna be taking the stage. Let's say 6. Let's say 6 and be safe.
We're doing 6, yeah.
Yeah. Could possibly be 6:30, but you want to be there at 6. Nice early show, Club Congress. A bunch of other great acts are on the bill. So it's gonna go to like 6 to 10.
Yeah.
I imagine those Wednesday night shows that kind of end early.
They have a curfew at 10, so we gotta be punctual.
Skedaddle.
Yeah.
Right, and the show's only $10 and it's all local acts. Like,
and if you get there early, I'm gonna be shotgunning a G Fuel energy drink outside of the doors beforehand, so I can really feel afraid. So if you guys want to come through for that,
are you gonna be afraid? I mean, you've done plenty of shows at this point. You still getting super nervous before you hit the stage?
I like shake every time. Like if you ever see me hold the microphone with both of my hands, it's because I'm stopping my hand from shaking so much.
Oh wow!
I get so nervous. I feel it's a lot.
Now, does it affect your breathing and stuff? That's the biggest challenge for a live performer, right? So you gotta get on that.
Yeah.
So I mean, have you tried maybe like just screaming at the top of your lungs before you hit the stage and let all that nervous energy out?
That would be smart. I should try that. I might try that tonight.
Well, do not blow out your vocal cords though. I don't want to.
No. The double backflip.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Do the double backflip. That'll get all that nervous.
Exactly.
I don't know. You need some physical exertion.
I think once I shotgun this G Fuel, I'm gonna be feeling.
What is G Fuel? Is that an energy drink?
It's a backflip. Yeah. It's an energy drink, but I drank one because they didn't have any Red Bulls at Casa Video when we went for trivia the other night. So I was like, whatever, I'll just grab one of these. And they look like they're alcohol, but they're not. But they feel like they are once you drink it all. It feels like you drank like a Four Loko. You're sitting there like shaking and having a good old time.
That sounds terrible.
I'm excited, dude. I don't know.
I mean, if you were spitting out bars like Busta Rhymes and just trying to speed rapping, then maybe this will like help. But you got some mellow tunes too, so you want to kind of be like, nice like slow delivery. and kind of amping yourself up too much.
I think that I was gonna go for more of a Busta Rhymes kind of vibe tonight. So
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
double your set list and get it done in
gotta
half the
switch-
time.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna make everything, boost the BPMs a little,
Right?
really
And
crank the auto tune, just do all hyper pop.
nice.
There you go.
Now, where's how do people follow you online and be able to check out your music before they check you out at Club Congress tonight?
You can find me on Instagram at Rae RAEEELMAO, or my music group is at Our City's Finest.
There you go.
And book sessions with us.
That's Rae L. Tickets available at the door tonight, Club Congress at 6:00. So before we leave, let me give you a beef tip and we'll be heading out the door. Here's some surprise health benefits of whiskey, right? They say
Okay.
a shot has a full day's supply of vitamin C, and drinking it can help prevent cancer, strokes, dementia, and more. And it can help calm you down when you're nervous. So tonight, my beef tip to you, Rae L,
Yeah.
is skip the G-force, whatever crap you're
Mix
going to
'em.
drink. Take a shot of whiskey, calm those nerves, and prevent cancer.
Wow.
They call that a twofer.
That's a two.
So with that's your beef tip of the day. I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the show. As always, enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and rock local. Later.
When you wish
Yeah, I definitely know some people that are
upon a
going to
side
be
of
forever.
who will come and end to all your grief. But if you've been mean or kind of bad,
Always.
I will knock out all your teeth.
Later, guys.